This case considered the issue of the overriding statutes in relation to indefeasibility, and whether or not legislation specific to the prevention of the sale and disposal of land vested in an Aboriginal Land Council was inconsistent with the indefeasibility provisions of the Real Property Act. In this case, an Aboriginal Land Council transferred 2 properties to an investment company. An officer of the Land Council had signed a certificate required by legislation that declared that the disposal of the land did not contravene the legislation and that the land was not of Aboriginal significance. The investment company later obtained mortgages over these properties, one of which was registered. The Aboriginal Land Council objected to these mortgages over the land and argued that they were in contravention of legislation which prevented such dealings, and that the transfers were void, and therefore the mortgages were also void. The Land Council argued that since the land ultimately vested in them, that the mortgages were ineffective. The finance company that provided the mortgages argued, however, that the mortgages were effective and that they did not contravene the legislation, and the mortgagees argued that they had the relevant statutory certificates that complied with legislation permitting the existence of the mortgages over the property. The central issue for the court was whether the legislation that prevented such a transfer prevailed over the indefeasibility provisions in relation to registration. The court ultimately held that